Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Cookin' with Miss Kaye. So tonight I'm going to make a no bean turkey sweet potato chili. Now you can use diced chicken, but I prefer it with dark turkey meat, ground turkey. So first what we're going to do is I'm going to grab my olive oil, which is behind here, and I'm going to put in a couple, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, a couple tablespoons, probably 1.5, 2, something like that. And I'm going to brown, I have a whole red onion that I diced that I'm gonna cook up here. I must be getting hungry because my brain is not working right now. And where's my garlic press? Oh, my handy dandy little garlic press. I love this thing. So I have 3 garlic cloves that I've taken the outside skins off of, and I'm gonna press these. You can mince them, but I love my little garlic press. So I'm gonna put these in here. And even though it's still quite warm outside, because it's September, I always start craving kind of stews and, you know, all the fall stuff. So this is great. You can make this for Labor Day weekend this weekend if you want. It's really good for pretty much anything. Like if you host football parties, when we can have football parties, you can take it to picnics. It's just a really good, versatile dish to make. So I'm gonna saute this up. And as soon as it browns just a little bit, I'm gonna add the ground turkey. And I'm using my Le Creuset Dutch oven. We got this as a wedding gift when we got married. Oh my God, how many years ago? Was it 14 years ago, I guess? And if I was ever stranded on a desert island and they said, you know, those always things like, what would you take on a desert island? If it was a cooking utensil or something, it would be my Le Creuset pot. I make everything in this. I do roasted chicken, I do chili, I do this kind of chili, I do beef stew, I do my vegan, you know, a lot of my vegan dishes, coconut chicken curry, tons of stuff. So if you don't have a Le Creuset Dutch oven, it's well worth the investment. And I actually looked them up the other day, and the latest one that I want is kind of a little lower profile, and it was 50% off, so I might splurge and buy one of those. Okay, so this is gonna cook up just a little bit. And now what I'm gonna do is I have 1 pound of Mary's Organic dark meat turkey. And I prefer the dark meat, but you absolutely can use the white meat as well. And I'm just gonna put this in here. There we go. I'm gonna grab a paper towel, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just gonna break it up. And what I tend to do to make cooking easier for me is I prep ahead of time. So I'm not kind of prepping as I go. I already have my 3 sweet potatoes peeled and diced into just like little, you know, 1-inch, 1/2-inch dice. I pre-diced my onion. Obviously I pressed the garlic. I have my seasonings in here, and the seasonings that I'm gonna add is, I start slow. It's 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of cumin. I always start low and then I adjust it as I go. And then it's a 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder. My boys don't like a lot of heat, so I always go kind of low on that. And then I'm gonna add, it's a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. I love the smoked paprika from Trader Joe's. This stuff, if you haven't used it, it's the bomb. You can also get sweet paprika, but I tend to use the smoked paprika more. Whoops, a piece of onion just flew out of there. Okay, so I'm gonna let this brown up, and then I'm gonna put a bay leaf in also. So after this kind of browns a little bit, and I'm gonna season it with salt and pepper, and I just put a little bit in, and again, I'll rock it up if I need to once I'm finished. So I'm gonna add the salt now. And this is just a great pink Himalayan salt from Trader Joe's. And then this is just the black peppercorns from Trader Joe's as well. And my spices range, out of all the chili powders that I've ever tried, I love the Spice Hunter so much that I order it directly from the company because I can't find it in the grocery store. Every time I try to find it, they're sold out or they don't have it. So I love the Spice Hunter. This is my, the Spice Hunter is my regular beef chili recipe. If you go to spicehunter.com, they have a chili con carne recipe that's really good. I don't use the steak bits in it. I use just ground beef, which is really good. And then I have Simply Organic cumin. And then I think that's all I used. Yeah, and Simply Organic bay leaf, which I'll be adding in just a minute. So I'm gonna let this brown up just a little bit more. I'm gonna turn my heat up. And then once I get everything in, it only needs to simmer for about 25 minutes. And it is so good. This comes from the 30 Days to Healthy Living program. And when we had this in rotation, it was fall, winter, week 3. And we've kind of mixed up some of our recipes. But when I did the program initially 2.5 years ago, I just made myself a little binder and I put all my recipes in it. And I still use those recipes now. And one of the things I love about the program, there's lots of different reasons why people would do the program. They want to get healthy, they just want to eat better, they want, better inspiration for meals, is you get 4 weeks worth of recipes and the shopping list. And if you're like me, a busy mama, what I did was I made 6 weeks. I kind of put together 6 weeks worth of shopping and dinner recipes, and I'm rotating those through because I was finding it was taking me, an hour, once a week to kind of figure it out. Now I just grab and go and I'm done. So it's really good. Okay. I think I've talked enough that this is browned. Okay. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to add in the spices. I'm going to stir that around. And this, when you add the spices, you kind of want to let them, bloom. And you do that a lot in Indian cooking too, where you kind of just put them in rather than adding it after you've put the broth in. So it becomes really fragrant and it smells so good, especially the smoked paprika. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then we are going to add, I have 1 can of, I think it's Muir Glen organic diced tomatoes, juice and all, so everything goes in there. And then I have, the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of chicken broth, but I always use 2 cups because I feel like it needs a little more liquid. But you can kind of eyeball it. And then I have 3 cups of this diced sweet potatoes. So I'm going to let that stir up. And then, cover and simmer. I was just checking my instructions. Oh, and I need to add that bay leaf. So I'm going to add the bay leaf, but right before you get ready to serve it, you're going to pull the bay leaf out because you don't want to eat the bay leaf. That will not taste good. Let's get a big fat one. There we go. Okay. So we're going to let that cook up. And that is it. Dinner will be ready in about 25 minutes. And then I may need to add a little bit of salt. I might need to add a little more, smoked paprika or cumin. So either way, it'll be really tasty. So I hope you try this recipe. If you do, let me know, share it, post a comment. And you can also follow all of my recipes at hashtag Cookin with Miss Kaye, no G, Cookin with Miss Kaye. Or you can follow me on Instagram at Cookin with Miss Kaye as well. And I love helping people get healthy 1 meal at a time. So hope you guys are having a great day and take care. Bye.